So it's another Tuesday. Full moon is coming up next Friday, and very excited. Full moon, full stop. If you have no idea what that means, please take a look at other videos explaining the full moon, full stop. I might link something in the descriptions below. This video is about us fossil fools, or me, fossil fool. And yeah, there's been a lot of trees being cut here in the forest around me. This is the forest next to the NomadTown, and we can use this wood. And yeah, looking at the amount of wood, it might seem the obvious choice to use a chainsaw, and not long time ago I would have used a chainsaw for all this. And yeah, it's something where there's a lot of things to be thought about. Like, if I would use a chainsaw, I would get a lot more wood done. A lot more wood would be dry before the winter, and at the same time I know that if I now use the handsaw, like a fossil-free solution, and if I don't get enough wood done before the winter and enough wood dry before the winter, that means I might need to get wood from elsewhere, and that there might not be fossil-free wood. So that might be then wood from, if I buy wood, it's processed or transported using fossil fuels. And yeah, it's a funny balancing act where we don't know what is going to be, how much wood can we actually make in this time, but it just feels wrong to use the fossils. So it's really not about knowing, and that's I think a very interesting one with many things that we do here in the Nomad Town. We don't know if this is the right way. We do it according to best knowledge. There's no blueprint. Nobody's showing us, telling us this is how to do it. And when I look at the world and see how much suffering we humans cause to other humans and other species and the rest of the nature by our addiction to fossil fuels, then I really wonder, yeah, how can I avoid using them? It's really tricky. It's really tricky, like, because so many times we don't know where fuels have been used in the process of something. But yeah, it's at least a nice ambition, and something where we try and see how far we get. Um, and when I look at the discussions online or in the media, in the news, like, or in like how our government's looking into this whole idea of a fossil-free future or sustainable future. Climate change seems to be a big argument. Like, we're looking a lot into being carbon neutral, and carbon neutral is for sure. It's like really a good one. And when I look at the wood here around me, yeah, this is wood that comes from this area, and every wood that we burn here is not turning into methane in the process of decomposing. And you might hear the birds. I'm upsetting the birds being here at this time. So yeah, they're nesting. So, and I think that, like, this being carbon neutral or carbon positive, that this is like, there's a little catch to it, because it makes us believe that if we are carbon neutral, we'll be fine. And I personally don't think that this is enough. Also, it depends how we calculate carbon neutral. So if I think of carbon neutral being, right, like, you plant X amount of trees to compensate for something that you have done bad, and that way you believe, okay, now I'm carbon neutral. The emissions have still been made, right? And when we look at the setting in the natural world, we are allowed to take as much as we need, and we have to give back as much as we took. And yeah, so it's not just about being carbon neutral. It's about what we really need and what do we want. So when I look at how can we um, solve our current situation globally, and our current situation is not climate change, it's not pandemic corona or whatever pandemic is still going to come our way. These are all symptoms, in my opinion, and our main issue that we are not nature connected. We are lacking deep nature connection, connection to self, connection to others around us, connection to the rest of nature, and connection, love, and community. They all seem to be the same thing, but our main situation is that we don't have nature connection and we don't survive. Our six survival priorities are not covered. This is why we do full moon, full stop every full moon, and just to find ways that work for us here. I recommend this tool for everyone. Please check it out. So, the main thing is we need to reduce, rethink our ways, I think, and um, there's no one way to do it. Everybody needs to find their own way, I guess. But there is some principles that work for everyone. The stop tool is, for example, one way I believe that works for everyone. And also I believe the question need to have and nice to have, that also works for everyone, because if we want to survive and want to keep other species, like life in all its diversity in mind, the future of generations of other species also, then we really need to reduce ourselves to need to have and need to do levels. um, This is very easy to say. Very often I don't get there myself. It's a process, it's a transition, it's finding out what is actually need to have and what is nice to have. And there's a lot of need to have things that are really nice, like good tasting food, for example, which is very easy. So it's like nice to have good tasting food. And yeah, the question is the banana, is the avocado, is that need to have, right? Neither of them grow here locally, so yeah. Same goes with cars, transportation, um, fossil free. I don't think that the idea is to get electric cars to just have less emissions. I think the idea is to reduce ourselves to maybe bicycle speed and bicycle distances. Some time ago, I made a video about transportation, and some ideas that could help there. Also, maybe I'll put a link in the description below. And yeah, a nice thing, by the way, about using the handsaw, I can work in the middle of the night, as it is now almost the middle of the night, and I don't have to feel bad keeping the neighbors awake with the sound and the smell. Okay, good night, everyone. Thank you very much for tuning in, and yeah, please, if you have questions or ideas, please put them in the comments, and if there's anything I can do to help, or if you have anything to add, please put it there. And yeah, if you like this, please also subscribe, share this with others. Thank you very much. Bye bye.